If you really want the success that you always talk about, you have to do a lot of things. You have to have priorities, habits, and just general mindset. But one of the most important things I personally believe that you need to be successful in life is the ability to take a risk. So, what exactly is a risk? A risk is essentially the idea that I will do this thing right here at the cost of this right here. Let's say that you have a very comfortable 9 to 5 job, right? You work a decent amount of hours, you get a really good salary, maybe even 6 figures or above, but you are not happy with this job. In this situation, you have two options. You can continue to work this job and lead yourself down a path that you personally do not want for yourself, despite the commodities, despite the comfort, and everything else, the security. You do not enjoy this job. Or option two, you can abandon, or at least not focus so much emphasis on, but mainly abandon, honestly, in this aspect, because you really want this, and chase after what it is you really want. And because of that, you have to risk that. It has to be risk. And what a lot of people tend to get misconstrued is they'll go after that risk and realize, oh wow, this is a lot of work. This is a lot. I have to sit here every single day, constantly put in the work every single day, and a lot of times there's not going to be days you're going to want to do that. In fact, I would say there's very much more days where you don't want to be putting in that work than there are days that you do. Let's talk about what most people do not take a risk in life, because there's a lot of reasons, and I can go on and on about why you can't, or why you don't, or why you should, or why you shouldn't. But let's talk about the exact reason why you do not take a risk. When you decide to do something that you're truly passionate about, there are always going to be things at stake, right? First of all, the biggest of all is time. Time is going to be spent differently. And if you're used to spending time hanging out with friends, engaging in certain activities, maybe, doing certain things that you're not typically used to doing, your life is going to drastically change, and there's going to be a lot of pushback. And it's not even just physical pushback, it may be, psychological pushback. Maybe it's from your friends, your family, your peers. People around you are starting to push back on you and say, oh, well, you sure you really want to do that? That's a lot of risk. Maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe you should play the more safe route. Work this job. Get this certain amount of hours. Do not listen to them. Especially if no one's even tried to do things that they want to do in their life themselves. These are the worst types of people, because they're basically telling you, well, I didn't do it, so I don't want to see you do it either. Or you can't do it because I couldn't do it. These are the absolute worst type of people, and do not surround yourself by these type of people, because they will not do you benefits in life. They just won't. They're going to hold you back. They're going to make you realize that everything around you is essentially used against you. That's simply putting it. Everything is used against you. Your surroundings, your family, your friends, just your general environment is used against you. But going against that environment will allow you to seek the real freedom that you want. But in order to do so, you need to push back and ignore the outside noise, put your head down and go to work. My wholehearted honesty, I personally believe that when you decide to take a risk, you get to really see what you're capable of. And when I say this, what I essentially mean is that when there is nothing to lose, or at least there is nothing that you personally don't already believe that you've already lost, you get to really see how hard you're going to work. If you don't have a job to go back to, if you don't have, all these different things to fall back on, and for a lot of us, we love security, we love comfort, right? That's why you live in a nice, comfortable home, because it provides you with shelter, something to go to. You work a nice, comfortable job because it provides you with money, but also stable money that won't really differ or change, or you have to work a little bit harder each day to get a certain amount of money. You may have a hard day at a job, but typically that salary stays the same. Not when you're chasing your dreams, it doesn't. It can fluctuate. It can go one day you get a lot of money, a lot of sales if you start a company, and next day you can get no sales. And when those days happen, a lot of people will fall short and they're gonna break. And this is why taking a risk is so important, because you need to see what this is like. You need to see what life is like when not everything is in your favor. You need to do it. You need to see how hard you can work. You need to see what adversities you can overcome. I believe you need to see the people around you and how different their lives will be to your life, right? Their mindset, their mentality, their habits will be completely different from you. And you'll notice that, and you'll begin to say, man, I'm so thankful I decided to change my life and take a risk. Because in all honesty, 30, 40, maybe even 50 years on the line, when you're a lot older, you're a lot older in age, and people around you, maybe you have a family. If you do have a family, cool. If you don't, that's up to you. Maybe you have a family and they're to you for advice. And you reflect on the times where you could have taken that risk and become successful, or maybe even just learned general life advice from taking those risks, but you didn't. That is something that a lot of us fear, myself included. I don't want to be an older man and realizing that I had so much potential, but I was scared to take the risk. That's it for the video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, make sure you give a like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, comment down below any questions you guys may have. And yeah, that's it. See you guys next time.